Today we'll cover 20 new meme coins on your request, a banger CTO Larson song, BOZO tech update. But let's first check how it went with the first batch of coins from the video 2 weeks ago. As you remember, I made a video and then the day after I made a follow-up where 10 out of the 12 coins had gone up in price, most 20, 30, 40%, one went up 93% and one went up 2.6x. In preparation for today's video I checked the price again and now we have a much wider range of outcomes. Now half have definitely lost steam, one is down minus 71%, hodl sucks, don't hodl in downtrends, but two are up 4.5x and 5.4x respectively. And the interesting thing then is that if you put $1 in each of these, in the first video, after 1 day you had $16. That's the interesting thing about the math. The ones that didn't go so well are more than compensated by the ones that went several x in price. And now when 2 weeks have passed, we see the same effect. Despite half of them being in minus, the sum of what was originally $12 is now over $20. So in 1 day this was up, what is this, 40%? And this is what, 1.7x or something like that. So not quite double, but almost. And that is with no stop loss, no action, no new entries, nothing. And still from 12 to 20 in 2 weeks. Not following any process, not doing anything. And that was with a minimum of selection effort in the first video. You literally saw how I did it. So clearly there are opportunities here. That is undeniable. But there are also a lot of stories like this. I put 5k into WIF, sold for 7k, thinking I was a genius. My bag would be worth 12 million right now. And here comes the point of this story. I lost over 100k trying to find the next WIF. I am ruined. So clearly, even for guys who did it once, it's not so easy doing this. There's a lot of stories on Twitter. This guy invested 1 banana and now he made $1 million. Here's the proof on the blockchain in his wallet. And of course it's true, but it's also kind of sampling lottery winners. They will swear by that buying a lottery ticket works and that you should spend all your money buying lottery tickets. While in reality it's pretty difficult. Here I intentionally didn't pick something that was completely undiscovered. And that's also why there isn't any 100x or 1000x here. I didn't look for unknown projects in that video. Of course I could sit all day in different Telegram groups and try to figure out which funny cat will be next based on different pump groups. But I don't really like it, and I don't think that's my zone of genius, or what you call it. I think my capabilities lie elsewhere, where perhaps I can give you some value. TA. Meme coins have no fundamental analysis, so TA is even more useful, because TA can uncover what the big players do and not what they say. Process. This guy should have taken those 2k he made in profit, invested in a proper process, mine or someone else's, and he would have made between 5 and 10 million dollars back on those 2k if he followed it. We won't catch the entire move from the exact bottom to the exact top with the trend trading process, but we have good chances to catch most of the move with most of the capital. Technology insights. I'm good at seeing through new tech. Most of these coins don't have any technology, but some do. And finally, how this is gonna end, because that I can say with almost certainty. Because I've seen this movie before, twice. First in the ICO boom, then in the NFT boom, and now in meme coins. First comes the pioneer, that was Dogecoin. In the ICOs, that was the Ethereum ICO. Groundbreaking technology. The Ethereum ICO gave us one of the greatest inventions of the past decade. So it worked. Then there comes more. The Binance ICO gave us the most cost-efficient, highest capacity exchange of tokenized assets that has ever been created. Cardano ICO, not sure what that brought. With the meme coins, Shiba Inu, Pepe, it worked again for the second wave. So there comes more. More ICOs, more NFT projects, more meme coins. It worked again. So there comes more. And again it worked. There's an enormous inflow of capital into this new trend. So people create more projects and more projects. Now we can't fit it on the screen anymore. And now we have hundreds of projects. Then as this accelerates, every single day there comes more and more of these projects, because it costs almost nothing to create. And in the beginning of this trend, there is more capital flying in, then people can create new projects with some kind of momentum. But as this continues, doubles and doubles again of new projects, new ICOs, new NFT projects, new meme coins. Eventually, supply overtakes demand and it starts crashing and it's very difficult to get out, and the haystack gets too big and it starts getting increasingly difficult to find a needle. That doesn't mean that the concept is bad. And this isn't new to crypto. It was the same during the .com era, if anyone is old enough to remember that. Even though the crappy overload of .com websites crashed, most of them, the technology lives on. We're still gonna have tokenized securities, just a little better regulated. NFTs are not gonna go away. And neither will meme coins, because it's like the epitome of trading. But most people are gonna end up losing money. I can guarantee it. Even those who were there early and are playing this game very well. Because the same way that they made money in the beginning is going to be the same way that they lose money towards the end of that cycle. Because they don't do technical analysis, they don't have any trend process, TA with a trend process, or tools that can help take advantage of an uptrend while avoiding riding it all back to zero when the music ends. Which is what most people will do. Even those who have made $1 million, they're gonna lose $1 million or more on the way down. At the end of this cycle, guaranteed. Now let's work ourselves upwards and start with what I think personally is most fun, because it's actual innovation, actual technology development, and if you don't know what this is, I covered it in this video when price was 0.0044. I just checked. So if you take the price from the first video, 0.0044, until today when I checked, this one is now up 7.2x. So not quite 10x yet, but not far from it. And they're doing new stuff. That's why I love people who innovate. First they came up with this idea with a hybrid NFT token idea. Then I think some people who actually watched my video and they went and stole the idea and made this ERC-404 standard, where some projects ran up to hundreds of millions of market cap. But people who copy can only copy, they cannot innovate. So now these guys are back with new stuff, which they call the Solana Hybrid Standard, SHS, where they allow any existing token to hybridize. So now any token can be converted back and forth into an NFT. So for example, WIF could create their own traded PFP collection with rarities that's backed by WIF. Or maybe a clearer example, using wrapped BTC you can create an NFT that holds 1000 wrapped BTC. Then that NFT can be put on an NFT secondary exchange, like Tensor, and can be bought for the equivalent of 1000 BTC, allowing for decentralized OTC. Of course, this is an extreme example to illustrate the point. Maybe don't put 1000 BTC into a new protocol on the first day before it's tested. But this is an example that I made in the first video. Can actually decentralize the OTC business and put it on-chain instead with software, instead of companies doing this with, I don't know, phone calls and emails and stuff. And you can do this with any variable you wish, like 1 BTC or 100 or even 1 million BTC if you're, for example, Satoshi. Well, it's exactly what I explained in the first video. OTC deals can be done with anyone without any middleman or trust involved, as is the case with traditional OTC. And you can even do this flexible decentralized OTC for Sol itself. So it's possible to make traded PFPs for every community token. PFP NFT personal profile picture, but can also mean an NFT that you just like. Then you can introduce traits and rarities, which then creates more demand and utility for the existing token. If starting with NFTs can add on the tokens. And then this also creates an arbitrage opportunity. That means that specialized players can jump in and start, for example, buying the NFT and selling the token at the same time and making a profit on the difference without taking any trading risk, which opens up liquidity. So this project, which looks like this, is adding this kind of technology. It's just the world we live in, guys. And then that's only the first half, because then they will be releasing the first SHS collection themselves on Friday in partnership with Tensor HQ, which they call the BOZO Hybrid GOO gold nuggets. A fully generative and traded 10k PFP collection backed by 80k BOZO tokens each, with each gold nugget representing 0.01% of the BOZO Hybrid token supply. So it's creating more demand for the same tokens, and I suppose that's what they mean here with the game theory, and never before seen tokenomics of any project in crypto ever. As you recall, the main NFTs represent 0.1% of the supply, equivalent to 800k tokens. So these 10k PFPs represent 0.01% of the supply, or 80k tokens. So it's 1/10 of this one. I suppose to make it more accessible. And says there will be more about this later this week. I think this is fun, guys. Not just about funny pictures or something. There's some actual new ideas here. Ideas which I think have merits and ideas that I think will live on. Just like we saw with their first idea here, which instantly got copied because it was a good idea. I wrote yesterday in our Discord. I also tweeted about it. Support held here. What is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 times. Head and shoulder invalidation, just like we got in Bitcoin. Confirmed here. Prices doubled since then. Again, an example where technical analysis provided you great opportunities even if you don't know anything about the project. Now it's retesting these highs here. If breaking out that one too, there's only the all-time high resistance left and then price discovery, if those breakouts happen. Now we're going to go through a lot of meme coins. I've taken suggestions from our members in the Discord, so, you know, blame them. And for clarity, I'm not recommending you to buy any of these. If you still do, the risk of losing all your money is huge. This is a casino or a circus, but I think also an excellent university in charting and trading, because time frames are so compressed. What takes you maybe 2 decades to learn in the stock market takes you 2 years to learn in normal crypto and 2 months to learn in the meme coin market. I just take this in the order that you guys asked for it in the Discord. So it's not in priority order or anything like that. BOZO Hybrid, tiny market cap. After the initial run-up, this one went into some sort of flag or channel here, which broke out, now seem to be retesting. The target from that channel has already been met, pretty much exactly. Another example where TA worked. Time frames are so compressed. This was, what, 2 days ago? And the resistance it hit was clearly the all-time high here. So what I would watch here is simply a breakout into price discovery. And a decent risk reward would be the retest of this channel that holds. They were early in this hybrid DeFi, clearly. Seem to be doing something about hybrid DeFi education. Self-funded, I don't know, could be something perhaps. I'm at least definitely interested in learning more. EWON Max. Initial massive pump, then looks very similar to that previous project. It would have been a flag correction if it weren't for the scale here on the side, because this is not just a correction, this is down here like 90%. Of course, have to be seen in perspective of these pumps. 6,000%, and I'm sure even more if starting earlier. This one has to build some kind of bullish pattern here, show some new sign of life before I'm interested. POPCAT, this one we covered actually in the first video. It's up 64% since then, backed up a little since I checked the price earlier today. But here we actually have help by technical analysis, because this could be a cup and handle pattern in the making. If it does, if it confirms, if it breaks out, that is definitely a great risk reward pattern to trade from a technical analysis perspective. This one we have on TradingView, so there is a large online reading, course up massively from that gold flip, 10x, and we can easily chart and track both the trend and the chart patterns here in TradingView. Andrew Mate, GTOP. Okay, this is interesting because this is actually a massive learning experience. The learning experience is to not buy the pump, because many of these coins are going to look like this. They're going to have one massive pump, then a retracement. It's going to find support somewhere, and then people are going to post charts that this is a wedge that's going to break on the upside, but it's also frequently almost a descending triangle. And if that breaks down on the downside, That's a pretty confident bearish pattern. The wedge interpretation would be drawing at something like this, and then they will say an upside breakout here is a buy signal. But I would say that it's a very risky way of doing it, because the actual floor is probably somewhere here, which is another 90% down. To invalidate, it would need to break above this level here. That would invalidate the descending triangle, but then you need to swallow to miss out of 4x gain here before coming back into this one. Without knowing anything else about the project, I would need to see some kind of signs of life, that there is buying interest, before I would be interested in a chart that looks like this. Then USD here seems like we have a little bit more price history. Definitely an uptrend, can draw a pretty clean parabola here. And if I had paid attention, which I didn't, this breakout here was pretty good risk reward, and it's not gone up so much further since then. I don't know anything about the project. Okay, this one is pretty big already, $340 million in market cap. Not a bad looking chart. Probably need to learn more about this. If there is anything to learn, clearly there is a cat involved. HEMULE, cat of Vitalik. Okay, so this one had an uptrend. Notably, this one created a head and shoulders here, which didn't confirm, which is why you shouldn't trade patterns before they have confirmed. See, this one never confirmed here. It never broke below the neckline. Instead, it invalidated by breaking above the right shoulder, which is technically a bullish sign. 28 million market cap. Chart doesn't look too bad. Perhaps need to look into it. Cat involved. Clearly. However, if wanting to be more defensive on something like this, the more defensive way of playing any of these is to use a parabola model. That's not an exact science, because you won't know until after the fact what is the slope of the parabola, which means that you might need to get back in if you get shaken out at the parabola break, but this would be a more defensive way to exit with part of the capital in these run-ups. Cloud, clearly completely new project. Too early to say anything about this TA. Looks like it had a big run up, a correction. Need to know more. BYTE. Here we have actually a trading view. It's up on most time frames. Trend line here, definitely an uptrend. Fully diluted valuation 27 million. Seems to be trading on 5 chains, including base now. And it's a meme coin with a cat, or whatever animal this is. Project called SNEK. Massive move up. It's classic, so common. Flag correction. If you don't know this pattern, it's time to learn it, because you will see it so many times. And even though price is backing up in these kind of patterns, this remains a bullish pattern. And sure enough, it broke out, it retested, and it moved up again. Similar as one of the previous coins, it faced resistance at all-time high, backed up again. Trend remains up on the daily. If we switch down to some meme coin time frame, the picture is less clear. We would need some kind of event here, maybe all-time high breakout into price discovery, or retest, or a pattern or something to create the conditions for a controlled entry. So what is it? Ah, it's SNEK, like in snake, so no cat. GOO Silly Goose. Okay, probably is a better chart somewhere, but this is very close to building a head and shoulders. Need to see if this support holds. Duck. BODEN, we covered before. That did 5x from the first video. There is definitely a useful trend line that can be used as a defensive measure if this one starts going the other way. But right now, definitely uptrend, holding the support trend. WIF, that one we also had previously. It was 2.3 then, now it's 3.0. As you remember, once again, TA was an excellent tool, even if you weren't early in this project. From this cup and handle breakout, price is up 6x since then. And now price is building a similar pattern. This could definitely develop into something similar, or at the very least a clear breakout into further price discovery. Or not, then need to take other action, because the drop in any of these projects can be huge when the music stops. Dog with hat. SOLAMA we also had in the first video. Price then was 0.1, and this is the one that is dying here. Earlier today price was 0.03, now price is almost 0.02 a couple of hours later. And if we switch down to some appropriate meme coin time frame, you probably understand why I'm so fond of parabolas and trend lines. Because even though it's not an exact science, you don't know exactly how to draw it. If you just make some kind of drawing. So say that you were early on this, you were part of this run. How to make a defensive measure. One way is to start cutting when the trend line breaks, because it's very difficult to tell the difference between a flag and a just simply crazy drop in a downward sloping channel that seemingly never ends. Because that can also happen, as price from here to here is minus 90%, which you might still be able to stomach if you were in there from the start. But at some point, if this flag doesn't confirm into a breakout, say that it goes up like this, goes into a flag correction pattern, but then breaks out maybe here, that breakout would be a very bullish signal. But at some point up here, you don't know if this is going to turn into a flag or a downward sloping channel that just never stops. And the point where the trend turns down can be a lot to stomach, even if you are up massively, maybe still 1000%. So that's the craziness here, that the coin can be up 1000%, but it can also be down 90% from the top and still be in an uptrend. And the parabola is one tool to mitigate that. I cover that more in my course. One category of coins that I'm actually interested in, that I want to learn more about, are meme coins on Base protocol. I think that Base is getting a lot of momentum right now, and most of the big market cap coins have been up the past week. The biggest one by market cap is BRET, has had an enormous run up, remains definitely in uptrend. Here you see once again why you don't trade head and shoulder patterns that haven't confirmed. It built head and shoulder, it didn't confirm. In fact, it didn't even retest the neckline, but now I have to watch for a smaller head and shoulder pattern that could be building here, but it's on very low time frames, not so significant. Clearly what happened here is that it found resistance at this level, I guess 5 cents. So if I would be interested in getting in this one, if I believe in the project, I would either look for some support retest or a breakout. The trend is definitely up here. Another project that looks basically the same, again, head and shoulders building. Is it going to confirm and break down, or will it clear this high and go into continuation and perhaps find resistance just like the other projects at the all-time high? If not in yet and want to get in, need to definitely find some controlled entry. Then I've saved one of the more interesting ones to last. There was actually a guy who was writing to me, and he was so insistent that he has discovered something. He had been doing research and he felt that he had actually uncovered something on the internet that he was so excited about. I wasn't completely convinced, and I still don't know, but I actually felt he might be onto something. And then today, two of our senior members independently write and ask me about the same project. Here, and Ryan too. And he sent me this chart analysis, which is very close to the chart analysis that I did when the first guy wrote to me. So what is it then? It is a meme token to begin with. It's not a technology token. Instead, they're trying to piggyback on the ride that GROK did. And GROK is one of the fairly big meme coins with 100 million market cap that had one of those absolutely crazy run-ups, which after the crazy run-up went into this big correction, but then actually found energy again, and this could 100% develop into some sort of cup and handle with breakouts or rejection, doesn't matter. The point is that the meme coin that was called GROK went to $100 million market cap simply because they had the same name as a real product by Elon Musk, the AI chatbot GROK. And then, while I have not fact-checked this, guys, I have not, so please help with that. But they are saying here that the X team with Elon is also looking at a search engine called Web as part of the X AI initiative, and they're saying they've done some domain registrations to cover for that. Please help me study this and fact check and see if it is correct. So their idea is then that if Elon Musk launches something called Web, then what are people going to do? They're going to do the same thing as when I recorded that Era Digitalis video. They're going to ask, where can I buy it? Then they're going to go here on CoinMarketCap, they're going to type web into the search box, and then there's only one ticker that actually has a tracked price, and it is this project, this meme coin WebXAI. AI, which for absolute clarity has nothing to do with any of Elon Musk's projects. It's just a meme coin. But people are pretty dumb, so who knows? Could happen. And what I actually like here in the chart is that there is a very clear support level that has been tested 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times. So there is at least one person who is sitting here buying every time price retraces there. And there is also a very clear range high, meaning resistance. So from a TA perspective, it's possible to take some gamble on the tiny chance that this actually plays out. I have no idea if it's going to happen without risking that much, because it's possible to buy at support pretty much where we are now, having validation below, to not hodl this 99.9% down. Don't do that. Or if wanting to have a more defensive approach, let's see some proof first, let's see that this actually happens, let's see it breaks out, and then enter, even if that is at higher prices, but arguably at lower risk. Both are, from a TA perspective, valid risk-reward entries, as long as you actually take action then if it doesn't play out. Apart from BOZO, obviously I think one of the more interesting, or at least crazy, opportunities that isn't discussed as much. This is on CoinMarketCap, so you can add it on Large Pro, both for trend tracking and to monitor both of those horizontal levels. By the way, if you don't know how to actually use a Solana DEX or to do this BOZO swap or something like that, I made a tutorial in this video which I recommend in that case. I think definitely get your hands dirty here, test, even if you just play around with a couple of dollars. I guarantee that you will learn so much about how this actually works. And learnings compound, maybe even more than money does. And now over to something completely different. Stephanie, you're a hero. AI generated song. Follow the large line Calypso.
Crypto is a roller coaster we ride, with ups and downs, twists and turns, but no matter where we go, we'll be just fine, as long as we follow the lost line. Through the fog we find our way. Don't listen to the noise that leads us astray. We believe in a coming pump, so let's keep pushing forward side by side and follow the lost line. Oh, through every storm, every mountain we climb. Oh, follow the lost line, so let's keep buying and reach for the sky.
Beautiful. So up here in the office, tried some variants. Let's check this one.
Lost in line, yeah, you know we're the boss. CTO lost son, he's the one who calls the shots. In the crypto game we make all the moves. No ups and downs, just steady grooves. We ride the market like a roller coaster, but with lost online we're the soldiers. No need to worry about the crypto uproar. We're steady stacking, making money galore. Lost online, we're on top of the game. Genius CTO lost on, we know his name.
I don't know, a little cheesy. Whatever you do, don't take stupid risks here. See this as an opportunity to learn, opportunity to have fun, and perhaps, in best case, make some money. For me, I'm not gonna actively go out and try to find the funniest picture or the pump group that is pumping something the most. I'm sure other people can do that and have great success, but it's simply not for me. It's not the area where I can excel, where I can perhaps provide some value to you. So for me, I will approach this as any other asset. I will look at technical analysis, I will look at trend processes, I will look for some technology insights, if any is to be found. And I think that you should use this insight of how this is gonna end to make sure that you're not one of those who's gonna hodl new or old projects downwards and give all the profits back to the market again. Please join us in the community, ctolarson.com. Everything else is a scam. Go here for Course and Indicator, which includes the Discord access. If you're already a member, get on Pro to manage your winners, the projects that actually take off, that actually get momentum, that gets listing, that gets on the tracking site, you put them in pro to make sure that you manage your positions and don't give all the profits back to the market again, which most people will do. I hope you're having fun in the markets. I hope you learned something today. I hope the meme coins will go your way.
I'm the captain running this game. Here was strife. Larson's genius guides us in this crypto life. Oh, the Larson.
I'm sorry, I can't take it anymore. Oh, this is so fun, guys. This is so fun. Thank you, tack. CTO Larsen out. Hej då.